What does freedom mean to you? Does it mean the freedom to choose? The freedom to have a family and raise your kids according to your own values? What about living a wild, adventurous life, experimenting with music, relationships, or art? What does freedom really mean? What if freedom meant something that only a few Americans still understood? What if it meant that your choices and your values were set by you, rather than by some politician in a far-off capital? Some people think we're only free to choose to live exactly how they live, by their moral code, or their narrow worldviews. But if liberty means anything, it means that you, and you alone, have the power to exercise your rights to which the laws of nature and nature's God granted you. It's time to put these principles back into action. It's time to restore the American dream, activate in our communities, and take our country back. It's time to wake up, America. Good morning, Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Petersen. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America Show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving break, and we're glad to have you back today with us. Kanye 2024. I can already see the comments this morning. You're fired up for it. I know, you're ready. That's the candidate you've been looking for president. Not me, not Donald Trump, not Ron DeSantis, not Hillary Clinton, or Joe Biden. No, it's Kanye that you want. We'll talk about that and that weird dinner that he had with that Nick Fuentes character at the top of the show. And then at 7:18 this morning, an employee was fired for not having fun at work. Yeah, that's right. There was a lawsuit. We'll talk about going out to lunch or dinner or having drinks with people from work and whether or not you should be required to do stuff like that. And then at 7:30 this morning, an attractive female will be joining me in studio to talk about why attractive female students no longer earned higher grades when they moved online. That'll be 7:30 this morning. Aren't you excited? We'll have an attractive female on the show for once. And then at 8 o'clock this morning, Anthony Fauci's comments on China have caused quite a stir online as protests have spread across the communist country. We'll talk about that at 8 a.m. this morning. And then at 8:30 today, ways to be a better husband and father. Yes, so that'll be great. We'll talk about all of that and more at the 8:30 slot this morning. First of all, don't forget, you can text the show, 573-319-1586. That's right. You can text us today at 573-319-1586. We'd love to hear from you over there. You can send us a text, 573-319-1586. Also, since we're doing a YouTube Blitz, since we got monetized last week, things have been going very well. Don't forget, I'd love it if you could watch the show over at youtube.com/AP for Liberty. We are streaming on Twitch, on Facebook, on Rumble, and on a bunch of other websites, as well as at wakeupAmericaShow.com. However, we would love it if you would watch the show over at youtube.com/AP for Liberty. All right, let's get the big the party started. It's Monday and I haven't finished my coffee yet. Kanye West, now also known now as Ye, brought Nick Fuentes and Karen Giorno to dinner with Trump. Controversial commentator Nick Fuentes sat down to have dinner with former President Donald Trump at Mar-a-Lago this last week. Kanye, aka Ye, and former President Trump have both announced their intentions to run for the White House in 2024. That must have been a really awkward dinner. Can you imagine? Well, the dinner between Ye and Trump had been previously arranged, but the additional guests apparently that showed up to this dinner were political commentator Milo Yiannopoulos. Yeah, you know, Milo, the provocateur that was canceled a few years ago and then disappeared and now has started to reappear in weird places, like interning for Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. And now apparently he's working for Kanye West's presidential campaign. I don't know. The gossip is really juicy, but it's been fun to talk about. And I've been getting a little bit of inside scoop on the DL from some of my friends in Washington, D.C., which I might share with you a little bit later. But last Thursday evening, Kanye really shook it up during Thanksgiving when he tweeted a video that featured a discussion between himself and Milo Yiannopoulos about the meeting. Apparently, Ye said that Trump was pretty perturbed at him by asking the former president, get this, Kanye shows up to have dinner with the president at his house and says he wants him to be his VP. No, not Donald Trump. Donald Trump didn't ask Kanye to be his VP. Kanye asked the former president if he wanted to be his VP. Can you imagine? And apparently, the former president was also really impressed with, oh no, Nick Fuentes. I mean, listen, I don't no matter what you feel about Nick Fuentes, whether you like the guy, whether you hate the guy, whether you think he's the devil incarnate, the former president of the United States really screwed up by not knowing who was coming to dinner with this guy because hey, if he agreed with Nick Fuentes on stuff, okay, well at least he would have known that, but probably a big security breach you would think for not knowing who's coming to dinner and sitting down with you and what his background in politics is. Either way, I think this is probably a yeah, kind of a stinker for former President Trump on that one. So, yeah, maybe not a good indication of what's to come from future President Donald Trump's future presidential campaign. We'd love to hear from you on this one. Send me a text 573-319-1586. And I'd actually love to hear from you your thoughts on Nick Fuentes. I've got an interesting, story about Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes obviously is famed for being a quote Holocaust denier, is what he's been called in the media. He said, he's famous for making controversial statements about women, blacks, Jews, right? Whether anything that's a racial hot button topic or a religious hot button topic, he's on the side of it that the media hates him for. I was in the same situation as him when I ran for president in 2016, not being labeled a Holocaust denier or racist or anti-Semite, but just that with like Donald Trump, I did an interview with the guy and I didn't know who he was. And all of a sudden, the day after I did that interview with this Nick Fuentes character, now keep in mind, this is a kid who lives in his parents' basement, literally, has never had a girlfriend by his own admission, just seemed like a young guy doing a podcast, invited me to do an interview with him. And then the next day, all of a sudden, my phone is blowing up saying, why are you talking to this Holocaust denier, blah, 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 this anti-Semite, this racist, this misogynist, this homophobe? And I'm like, I have no idea who this kid is. So I'm guessing Donald Trump probably was in a similar situation. But knowing the fact that Donald Trump actually has teams, communications teams, security detail, people to do research for him, he probably should have known better and known who he's sitting down to have dinner with. But I'd love to hear from you your thoughts on this one. Again, send us a text 573-319-1586. Bert Crash over on the live stream says that he thinks Nick is an idiot. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Quest Fanning says, I'll take an anti-war America first guy over a war pig any day. Okay. And let's see. Chris Morrill says, maybe stop giving the craziest of the crazies attention. Chris, you have no idea how much I would love to do that. You have no idea how much I would love to sit down this in the morning and at the Wake Up America show and talk about economic treatises and discuss Murray Rothbard. And I would love to get into the history of the 19th century of Lysander Spooner and the American anarchist movement and their views on the Civil War and how the North and the South. I would love to do that, Chris, but I can't. You know why? Because nobody would watch this freaking show if I didn't. If I did, okay? I've got to talk about what people want to hear about, and what people want to hear about is Kanye West, Nick Fuentes, Milo Yiannopoulos, Donald Trump, and all the weirdness that happened at their sit-down dinner last week. Now, Kanye West is running for president of the United States, and he'll get a significant amount of votes. And honestly, as weird as this sounds, I think a significant amount of those votes would come out of Donald Trump's pocket. So Donald Trump apparently was not happy with Kanye West and screamed at him at this meeting and allegedly said some not nice things about Kanye's former wife, Kim Kardashian, so much so that Kanye West actually had to sit down and had to snap back at the former president and say, hey, that's my wife you're talking about, the mother of my children, which you have to admit, sit down and think about how awkward that must have been with Kanye West getting screamed at by President Trump, Kanye West screaming back, Nick Fuentes, that little midgety guy, looking at all of this, feeling very awkward. And then, the flamboyantly gay, well, I guess he's no longer gay. He's decided that he's been transitioned back to heterosexuality. Milo Yiannopoulos just sitting, presiding over all of this. If anything, wouldn't you have loved to be a fly on the wall for that conversation? I think so. Tyler Nelson says, I'd watch that show. I know you'd watch that show, Tyler. You and two other people would watch it. What if Kanye was told that he could have his Adidas money back if he would take these obviously questionable people to make Trump look bad? Probably not the case, but maybe. I don't know, Bert. That's not a bad conspiracy theory. Let's give him a little I'll give you a bit of applause for that one. I think not a bad one. Yeah, what do you think? Send me a text, 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. Quest, love seeing your text messages over there. All right, coming up next at 7:18, an employee was fired for not having fun at work. You know how I feel about these work meetings and these after work parties and all this kind of stuff. But I'm going to get into it again because it's my show and I do what I want. Happy Monday. We'll be back with more on the Wake Up America Show at wakeupAmericaShow.com.
I like shooting things, but whenever I can't shoot something, I like to cut things. My life isn't all about shooting and stabbing and cutting, though. Sometimes I have to do actual work, but when I work, I still like to have fun. And there's nothing less fun than trying to cut with a crappy knife. Thankfully, from the ancient sect of Christian knights, who also loved cutting and stabbing, comes a new implement that has received my personal blessing, the Templar knife. Like the ancient sword of Excalibur, you don't choose a Templar knife, it chooses you. You just decide what kind you want on the website first, however, and then order it online, and then it chooses you. The Templar knife comes in a variety of shapes. As a man of culture and taste, I have decided I will never use a terrible knife again. And thanks to the inspiration provided by this excellent product, I have decided to launch a new crusade against anyone using less than superior knives. Join me, brothers and sisters, by visiting uppercuttactical.com/pages/Templar-knives. That's a lot of slashes. For that, you'll need a Templar knife. For 10% off, use code AP for Liberty and join me in a quest for glory, for liberty, for Christendom, for the Templar knife. Get yours today.
Fire.
Your printing company stinks. They charge you too much money and they don't love America enough. We've got the solution. Patriot Printing USA. Whether you're running for office, saving souls, or just need business cards that will get you the new job you've been looking for, Patriot Printing USA has got you covered with the best prices around. Palm cards, brochures, bumper stickers, door hangers, you name it, we've got it. PatriotPrintingUSA.com. That's PatriotPrintingUSA.com.
Want an engaging website to boost your business? You're just a click away from 5-star Fiverr talent. Hundreds of freelancer skills like web design. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
Average Americans are turning into conspiracy theorists at an unprecedented rate. Flip City Magazine was created for new converts to aid in their in-depth research along the path of absolute truth. We offer the hardest-hitting news and opinion delivered uncensored in print directly to your door. Display proudly on your coffee table or hide discreetly under your mattress. Flip City is the magazine they don't want you to see, much less read. Subscribe to Flip City Magazine today at flipcitymag.com.
defense of liberty is no vice.
It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the streets, and new laws are needed at every level. But law alone cannot make men see right.
Good morning, Liberty lovers. I'm Austin Petersen. It's time to rise in freedom. Welcome to the Wake Up America Show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. You can text in today at 573-319-1586. We'd love to hear from you. Super grateful to have all of our friends here joining us on the live stream today. Nice to see so many of you over there on YouTube. Good to see Mad Mom Anon, our friends JP, Robbie Thurman, Greg Watson, Scott Tews. Nice to see you there. Yay! 424s. Scott Tews, glad to have you here on the show this morning. Appreciate all of our friends coming over and commenting on the live stream. But you can also text us as well. And a couple people have done that. One listener texted in for the very first time today from the 386. No idea where that is. Sometimes I feel like Fuentes is a leftist agent. We only hear about him when the libs start howling. Oh, Jonathan, thanks so much for watching and listening to the show this morning. Glad to have you here. Thanks for texting us. You can text us anytime you like. Appreciate you very much. Another listener texted in, Lee from New Orleans. How you doing down there? How's the weather in New Orleans today? It's kind of cold and gray today here in Missouri. Lee says that unless something has changed from his last run, I still think Kanye represents the most pro-life candidate on the ballot. Good point, Lee. Super grateful to have you texting in this morning. And you can text us too. Again, 573-319-1586. Again, that's 573-319-1586. All right, let's put the Kanye topic to bed for just a minute and move on to something else. I read this story yesterday in the Washington Post about from France. I know you're like, well, why do we care about what happens in France? I don't know. Maybe it's because I was watching Waterloo over the weekend with my beautiful bride, and we were talking about Napoleon that this one really stuck out. But France's highest court has ruled that a man fired by a Paris-based consulting firm for allegedly failing to be, quote, fun enough at work was wrongfully dismissed. Now, I know France's labor laws are not like the United States. And in the United States, you can be fired for pretty much almost anything. But in France, you can't be fired even if you take a poop on your boss's desk. But in France, this story, I think, should be exported into the United States because I get so sick of all of the fun events that your work requires you to go to. You know what I'm talking about here. Well, the man who was fired from this company was fired because he was refusing to take part in seminars and weekend social events. Yeah, not events on company time, not during the regular 9 to 5. We're talking about weekend social events like, oh, we're going to play volleyball this weekend, and it's mandatory. You must have fun. It's part of your job. Okay, but the problem is, of course, that these events included excessive amounts of alcohol and promiscuity, which... okay, now maybe that sounds a little bit more fun. Mr. T had argued that the fun culture in the company involved, quote, humiliating and intrusive practices, including mock sexual acts, crude nicknames, and obliging him to share his bed with another employee during work functions. Okay, now it's sounding a lot less fun. In the judgment, the judge ruled that the man was entitled to, quote, freedom of expression, and that refusing to participate in social activities was a fundamental freedom under labor and human rights laws, and so that could not be used as a grounds for dismissal. So the man was hired as a senior consultant, and they fired him for what they called professional incompetence for allegedly failing to adhere to the firm's convivial values. Convivial. That's how you know the Washington Post is so up their own you-know-what. They're sweet patoot. They're using terms like convivial. Who uses that word? Come on, Washington Post. The company criticized his sometimes, quote, brittle and demotivating tone. This is probably Chris Morrell's doppelganger over there in France. Can you imagine a Frenchman not being nice, being brittle, or being demotivating? And apparently, his alleged inability to accept feedback and differing points of view. But the company's drinking culture apparently has been under a microscope in court proceedings before, because a number of incidents have shown that the entrenchment of the alcoholic, I guess, community in their white collar professional culture has really started to have people having conversations about, having things like booze chaperones at company events in order to avoid having such issues. So, this is something that's happened here in the United States. PricewaterhouseCoopers have had excessive drinking lawsuits filed against them. Things like this have happened in Lloyd's of London, where, boys' night out and employees would go out and, people get groped, things happen, and because they're under the influence of alcohol. And people, lawsuits happen, and it's probably not good for the companies. I got to tell you this. I know that employers feel like they want to have a fun workplace and they want everybody to feel like their family. But when you put everybody together in these situations and you ply them with alcohol and you require them to be at them and you require them to, quote unquote, have fun, people are going to do things that they think are fun when they're under the influence of alcohol. And they're the kind of things that can inspire lawsuits against your company. So I actually think it's not a good idea for companies to do this anyway, because unless your insurance premiums are paid up for your lawyers, fact is that you can get in a lot more trouble as an employer than your employee would get in, if they were playing a little bit of, grab ass at the Christmas party. But let's be honest, this has always been about these employers that are so out of touch with with the lives of their employees. That's been going on for such a long time. And since, of course, COVID-19 started changing workplace culture and more people started working from home, more and more people have been refusing going to these outings and having a legitimate reason, saying, oh, hey, I don't want to go to the Christmas party. I've got COVID-19, right? Even if they don't. Or my child has COVID-19, or I'm in quarantine, right? So they've had a, quote, legitimate reason not to have to go to these company events. But why would you want to go to these company events anyway? Maybe if I was in my early 20s and I wasn't married, and I was just like, a bon vivant, just going from party to party like I was back in the early days, I would enjoy going to those kinds of things. But let me just tell you, it gets old pretty darn quick. When I'm done with my work, and now I work for myself, so work is never done anymore. But when I used to work for the man, I used to hate these things. Employee barbecues. If it was not mandatory, if it was like suggested that you go, and then you would get looked down on if you didn't go, I still didn't go anyway. And maybe that's contributed to me not lasting very long at most of the places I've worked with. But let's be honest. I go get a job because I want to do the job and get paid. I'm not there to make friends. I'm not there to get drunk with my boss or, and get in trouble. I'm not there to have workplace dalliances. I just want to do my job and get paid and go home. What about you? Send me a text, 573-319-1586. And when we get back, I'm telling you, this girl, I'm going to get in trouble. I'm going to get a lawsuit filed against me for saying what I want to say. Maybe I shouldn't say it. I am in a bar after all. But she's going to join me coming up next at 7:30, and we're going to talk about attractive female students no longer earning higher grades when they moved online. Oh, this is going to be a good one. We'll talk about that with a very attractive female when we return on the Wake Up America Show at wakeupamericashow.com.
Want an engaging website to boost your business? You're just a click away from 5-star Fiverr talent. Hundreds of freelancer skills like web design. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
American conservatism is distinct, like America is distinct from the United Kingdom. American conservatism's roots comes out of the Wild West, out of pioneerism. The difference between American conservatives and European conservatives is that Americans are cowboys. We are that God, guns, gold, and girls. It's wild here. And we should stay that way. We shouldn't allow a European version of conservatism to come and infect us here. We like it wide open spaces here, deep in the heart of Texas and all that.
wife. I want to thank you all for watching the Wake Up America show with Austin Petersen. This show has been a huge venture for our family, so we would love it if you could join us.
I believe in liberty, and I believe in Austin's ability to spread the ideas of liberty. Do you?
I want to ask you today to join Petersen's Patriots with a pledge of $17.76 a month. Help us to stay cancel-proof so we can spread the message of limited government across the country. I joined Petersen's Patriots myself, just in a little different way. Visit wakeupAmericaShow.com/support and make your pledge today.
Average Americans are turning into conspiracy theorists at an unprecedented rate. Flip City Magazine was created for new converts to aid in their in-depth research along the path of absolute truth. We offer the hardest-hitting news and opinion delivered uncensored in print directly to your door. Display proudly on your coffee table or hide discreetly under your mattress. Flip City is the magazine they don't want you to see, much less read. Subscribe to Flip City Magazine today at flipcitymag.com.
Hello, I'm George. Thank you for watching the Wake Up America show with my dad. Today, I'd like to share with you 3 reasons why you should visit Dad's online store at apforlibertyshop.com. Number 1, you can get exclusive freedom-loving merch designed by AP himself or me mom, Steffi. Liberty Laura has made some designs as well, and blimey, they are great! Number 2, most of these products are so wicked that they aren't even allowed to be advertised on Facebook or Instagram. Modern machine guns and a proper keychain. Plus, our Grover Cleveland t-shirt is so spicy apparently that leftists on Facebook specifically banned it from appearing on the website. Number 3, you're supporting liberty lovers just like you. Spend your money where you earn it, and you help me Pops build a community that supports what you believe. Bloody hell, this commercial is running too long. Gotta run. Bye now. Don't forget to visit apforlibertyshop.com. That's apforlibertyshop.com.
Good morning. Happy Monday. It's 7:35. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. All right. I'll get to the next topic in just a moment. I saw Greg Watson was talking over on the live stream saying about how he has like 2 or 3 employee gatherings a year with his bosses, and he's known them for about 20 years. And so it is, they're like family. My work has had me drink more tequila than ever before, though. LOL, says Greg. All right, well, if you've got that kind of a relationship with your boss, I guess I can understand. Well, my boss is sitting here with me right now, joining me live and in studio. Stephanie Petersen.
Hello, everybody.
What are you doing, Stephanie?
I'm so attractive.
I know. Well, can't believe my wife just pulled that. Watch our live stream viewer counts just go through the roof right there. Everybody, let's give a big round of applause to Stephanie Petersen. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and let's just go to camera 2 over here. We've got another guest there, not quite in studio, but joining us over there. Give us a little wave. Can you see her over there? There's Verna Cole. There she is. Can you see her? Let's give her an applause as well.
Can we see her?
Yeah, we can see her just there in the background. Wave one more time for us, Verna, so we can see her.
She gave me the idea to push up my boobs and look sexy.
Okay.
Her permission first.
You don't have to push her boobs to look sexy. Jeez. This is a family show. Family show. Thank you so much for coming in. And one more round of applause for my beautiful wife, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Stephanie, glad to have you here today. Appreciate you coming in the studio. Yeah. So did you have any comments maybe about the earlier topics? So what do you think about Kanye West running for president in 2024? Are you excited about this?
I think I would vote for him. He's a really interesting guy. Honestly, I like him over Trump.
No, God!
I mean, imagine if he's in the White House. He'd do like music performances, make songs about
It's
being president.
amazing. Yes, that's a good one. What's your favorite Kanye song, would you say?
Stronger, better, or wait, what makes me
Yes,
stronger?
that which makes me stronger.
Yes. I'm not a huge
Better.
Kanye music fan, sorry. But
I actually am a big Kanye music fan, but no,
Yeah.
that's a good pick right
Yeah.
there. What's your favorite Kanye song? Send us a text at 573-319-1586. Again, lots more applause for Stephanie in studio. We love seeing it. Oh, no. She's voting still, says Mad Mama Nom. That's our anarchist in the house. Well, we'll give you that. Yeah. How dare you vote? How dare you vote? All right. When I saw this topic the other day, I thought to myself, oh my God, this is such good content for the morning show. So I actually held this for like 4 days over the Thanksgiving holiday so that we could talk about it. The headline was this, and this is an actual scientific study, scientific research
out of
study.
Sweden.
You love the study. You love the
The
science.
Swedish college students.
Yes. Oh, Swedish college students. Attractive female students no longer earned higher grades when classes moved online during COVID-19. That's interesting. I think you get where I'm going with this one, though. But let's just explain it. New psychology findings suggest that attractive students earn higher grades in school, but for female students, this beauty premium disappears when classes are taught remotely. These findings were published in the journal Economic Letters. There is a large body of research that physical appearance has an impact on a person's success. For example, attractive people tend to earn more money and report higher life satisfaction than less attractive people. Duh. Interestingly,
They have doors opened for them.
Yes. Scholars have yet to agree on the explanation beyond this beauty premium, but one account suggests that the beauty advantage can be explained by discrimination. For example, employers may inherently favor attractive over unattractive workers. Duh. And another perspective suggests that beauty is a productivity enhancing attribute. This view suggests that attractiveness itself lends to higher productivity, for example, though, through increased self-confidence. What do you think about that, Steffi?
Right. Yes. I mean, it is known that good-looking people tend to do better in life. But for me, I don't know, maybe I'm different than other people, but when I see really pretty people, I don't assume they're super smart because I think of them like when they were cool people in school, when they were the popular kids. And the popular kids were the ones that wanted to cheat off of my paper.
Right. They didn't want to have to work as hard. They didn't have to work as hard, though, because they would
were
get higher
attractive.
grades.
I mean, I did get a 4.0 throughout most of my high school, so maybe that means I'm really attractive. I don't know.
Congratulations. Yes, you're so
Or I
amazing.
just studied like a workhorse. That could also be it.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah, no.
So here's the thing about the study. Okay. So we've got non-quantitative courses. So those would be courses like business, economics, things where you interact with people and have to give speeches. And then you have quantitative courses like mathematics, chemistry. Here's the thing. More attractive people did not do better in the quantitative subjects because it was more so based on a final grade, like tests. And so you don't have to look at a pretty person when you're doing mathematics, right? They're just like stuck in a room doing equations all day. But if you're giving speeches and you're out there in the public talking to your teacher, like if the girl is kind of working it with her teacher, that's where the good grades come in.
Yes. So if it's like, if you're giving a speech, if it's not something where you had to do like a multiple choice exam is what you're saying here, but it was more like you were graded on your ability to give a speech. That would explain it. Why when I was in the speech competition in college, the hot girl was the one who beat me. I got second place and there was this very attractive girl. I have to admit though, she had a good topic. Mine was my topic was proving that FDR knew that the Pearl Harbor attack was going to happen, and so he let it happen in order to get us in World War II. And her topic was why you should become an organ donor. So a hot girl explaining why you should be generous with your organs and let them slice you open right before you die, Anne Hesh.
Exactly. We see it on social media all the time when a girl with big boobs is talking about educational subjects. There used to be this girl that I would watch. Her name was Hot for Words on YouTube. YouTube.
Oh,
She was this like really huge boob foreign lady
For words,
teaching you about
yes.
words. It's like if a dorky guy came on there and is like, here, the word
me
for
teach you.
today is
Yeah.
pneumoneutromicroscopic silicovolcanoconiosis. Nobody's going to listen to him.
Hi, I'm Austin Petersen, and I write for the Washington Post. Let's talk about being convivial.
And then they get like 35 views on YouTube. But,
Exactly.
right. We see this a lot in the liberty movement too. Let's not name names or anything because we don't want to get in trouble because we know some of these people. But like,
Exactly.
there are a lot of like liberty thoughts. You know what I mean?
That's right. I mean, I'm slightly jealous of these people, but
Why? I mean, all you'd have to do is do what you did at the beginning of this segment and grab your boobs and push them up there, and we'd make a lot more money, Stephanie.
Exactly.
We should be doing that for the AP for Liberty shop.
We should. I mean, say in the comments, do you want me to start being more sexy? Like, do I need to do this to get ahead?
No, do not say that. I will kill you. Okay.
So anyways, so getting back to this study, here's the interesting thing. When we went to remote school environments, guys still did better when they were attractive.
Explain.
So the men still participated better in terms of their grades in non-quantitative subjects, the ones where you're giving more speeches and talking more with your teacher, whereas girls, their grades suffered. And so they think that it's because guys were more productive. It's a productivity thing because they're more confident in their work, whereas girls lack confidence, I guess.
That explains my career. Chris Morrill calls them boobertarians.
Boobertarians.
He also says that he was very generous with his organs as a younger man. Very funny, Chris. You can send us a text to 573-319-1586. Robbie Thurman says, my community has gun bunnies. These are, you know what those are?
What are gun bunnies?
Gun bunnies are girls who like take pictures with guns and like they know nothing about guns, but they get these huge followings because they, show their ass.
Yeah. They have horrible posture while they're holding the gun.
Yeah, or they have their finger on the trigger, you know what I mean? So
Exactly.
they're called gun bunnies. Yeah.
And then after that, then they make fail videos of these hot girls shooting incorrectly.
Yeah. Or they'll like the girl will she'll have like an AK-47, and she'll have hot pants on, and then she'll sweep the AK-47.
She's got the jiggle going on, slow mo.
And then she's like, and then she like points her gun at everybody. So it's like, oh my God, what are you doing? What do you think about this? Send us a text, 573-319-1586. So, I mean, I guess it shouldn't be surprising, but I mean, it's kind of nice to know that there's a scientific basis for like being attractive and whether or not, and like how that correlates to how successful you might be doing whatever you're doing in school.
Absolutely. Again, I really don't agree with this research because when I see someone who's really dorky, like a Bill Gates type of person, like look at all these really successful people in the world. They're not really that attractive. They're more so dorky and just super smart. And I assume that those people are more intelligent than an attractive person would be.
Well, it's kind of like, people with glasses. So like people assume that if you wear glasses, that you're more intelligent. Right? There was even a story during the 1970s when the Khmer Rouge took over Cambodia. This was like during the end of the Vietnam War, when the communists took over. Pol Pot and his communists, the Khmer Rouge, took over. That they actually murdered people with glasses because they were considered to be intellectuals.
Yeah.
Right. So that it was kind of like part of the communist plan to make everybody equal. You didn't want to have any intelligent people. You want everybody to be the same. So if you wore glasses, they assumed you were intelligent and they killed you. So like there's a lot of assumptions that people have made throughout history based on people's looks, and it's usually incorrect.
Absolutely. I always wanted to wear glasses, and I actually wore glasses up through college because I felt smarter when I was reading. I was like, I'm really consuming this information and remembering it because of my glasses.
Yeah. Our friend Richard Bell over on the stream says that everyone always knew Austin and Stephanie were going to wind up together. What your response to that, Stephanie?
I mean, I saw it too. I saw that little magic connection when we were singing the duet during my volunteer days.
How dare you?
There was really nothing going on, you guys. I'm serious. There was nothing. I was just a volunteer, and he was my future U.S. Senator. So
Why are you gay?
All right, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we get back, police in California are seeking the power to have their robots that they use kill people. No, not like willy-nilly, but in just certain circumstances. Killer robots in Los Angeles. Where have we seen this before? Have you seen John Connor? I'll be back with more on the Wake Up America Show at wakeupAmericaShow.com.
You exposed to hazardous materials while serving in the military and have an illness or condition as a result?
If so, you may be eligible for VA benefits and services. Whether you need health care or want to file a disability compensation claim related to military exposures, VA is here to help. Visit va.gov/military-exposures to learn more and apply today.
If there wasn't going to be somebody who was a fiery champion of liberty, somebody who would get out there and who would be aggressive, and if they wouldn't do it with more fire or passion than I had, then I would go and I would fight this battle for us. I've fought for the principles that we all share. Parties tend to be secondary to me. We're here because we believe in the principles of liberty. I am not a perfect messenger, but I think I'm a damn good one. This is a replica of our first president's flintlock pistol. You have my full support, my respect, and my gun. Thank you very much.
Had enough yet? Do facts no longer matter? Are lies to be encouraged instead of punished? This is not our inheritance. If truth no longer matters, we will not remain free for long. This is our generation's challenge, to defend our founders' hope that we the people could self-govern if we defend our right to get the facts. And right now, we're building the only defense of free people have, the facts on every politician, every position they held, every statement they've made, every vote they've made, and any cash they've taken. It's the real history on those now pandering for your vote. There are hundreds of young people building our defense right now, and they need your help. We all have our passions, but as our ancestors knew, when events become so foul they threaten us all, we must stand and defend each other. Please, have our backs. Join us at votesmart.org.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
We wish you a freedom Christmas. We wish you a freedom Christmas. We wish you a freedom Christmas and a liberty New Year. Socialists and commies may try to convince you that the holiday's all about free stuff. But let's be honest, we all know whose wallet Santa's gifts are coming out of. There ain't no such thing as a free stocking. Santa is the only guy with a big white beard promising free stuff that we want anything to do with this holiday. And if you don't believe, you don't receive. It's a capitalist, consumerist holiday, and it's time for a Santa-sized stimulus. Get your free market merch at the AP for Liberty shop today and stuff your socialist sisters' stockings full of capitalist cheer. Ho, 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 ho!
Good morning, Rise and Freedom. I'm Austin Petersen. Happy Monday. Thanks for tuning in and watching the Wake Up America show with Austin Petersen. Joining me in studio now, a round of applause for Stephanie Petersen. Nice to see you, Stephanie.
I'm dancing like Trump.
Yeah, exactly. Do the Trump dance. Here we go. I think I still have that, actually. Hold on. I can, yes, wait a minute. I can actually go to the Trump dance. Here it is.
Hey, look, he's back, everybody. Trump is back, all right. That's right, back on Twitter. He's back. Liberal Tears Records presents all your favorite hits in one collection. Hey, everybody, how about this one? Trump's back. Trump's back. Trump's back to where he once belonged. That's right, Trump's back on Twitter, and we got all the hits to prove it.
Good to see that Trump's back again.
We want Trump back.
We want Trump back. We want Trump back. Good to see now.
We want Trump back.
Trump's back, baby.
We want Trump back. Hey, you know if it upsets Nancy Pelosi,
bowl of doggy doo.
It's gotta be good. Hey, Trump's back on Twitter. It's making liberals cry. It's making everybody sing. Trump is back, all right.
That was fun. Let's give us a round of applause for that dancing there. Very nice. My mother-in-law, who's in the studio right now, has no idea what we were dancing to. She can't hear what we're listening to. Hope you enjoyed that. You can send us a text, 573-319-1586. That's 573.
Now, the last time she saw me dance was at bat mitzvahs.
At bat mitzvahs, yeah. Somebody says, better commercials now. Hell yeah. Glad to have you here this morning, Mad Mom Anon. Scott Chu says, it looks like Trump is giving you-know-what to ghosts. That's very funny. It's entertaining as all get out. Glad to have you here again. Send us a text this morning on the show at 573-319-1586. All right. What else did I want to hit? Oh, yeah. Before we get to
robots.
Before we get to the killer robots, Stephanie, can we talk about the Elon Musk tweet? Did you see it?
Yes, I did.
Okay, yes.
What was on his little nightstand there?
Very interesting. Elon Musk posted a picture of his nightstand. Let's go. Actually, I set it up on my Twitter weirdness scene so you can see it here. If you're watching right now live rather than listening, sorry for all the podcast listeners later, but Elon Musk posted a picture of his bedside table. And at first I thought those were cans of Stag beer, but it turns out it looks like they're Diet Cokes.
Yeah, they're Diet Cokes. Edie would be very happy about this.
Edie would be very happy about this. Yes, if Edie Vogel is listening. Good morning, Edie. And
Hi, Edie.
You should be happy that Elon is a big Diet Coke drinker. Edie has a tattoo of Diet Coke on her.
Yes.
On her
She's
ankle.
a diehard fan.
She's a big tattoo lady. You would not think, as conservative as she is.
No.
But she's pretty hardcore. So anyways, so this picture that Elon Musk has on his bedside stand shows what looks to be one of those air guns, like the big giant revolver looking thing. But I'm more interested in the gun behind it on the desk with the picture of George Washington behind it, because for those of us who know my backstory, we've got a little bit of a history with that gun. That is
very special.
Yes, that is. And I mean, Elon Musk is rich enough to afford the actual one, but it looks like the type of one that I have. That is a replica of George Washington's flintlock pistol, which is the same gun that I gifted to Governor Gary Johnson in 2016. What did Gary Johnson do to that gun, Stephanie?
He threw it in the trash.
Boo, Gary Johnson. And then
That's horrible. That's like the lowest of low.
Yeah, it was pretty nasty. Right. And he was upset with me because I refused to endorse his vice presidential pick, Bill Weld. Once it became clear that I was not going to become the presidential nominee, his people instantly started demanding that I endorse Bill Weld.
Right.
And Bill Weld is famous for making a lot of anti-gun.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan
comments.
of Bill Weld.
I'm just a fan of Bill Weld.
I'm not a fan at all.
Yeah. So anyways, the LP decided to nominate Bill Weld anyway, but they were asking for my endorsement, and I said no, and I picked somebody else. And Gary summarily tossed my pistol into the garbage. But you know what the good thing was about that is that I got that gun back.
Yeah,
because somebody,
we have it.
Yeah, somebody saw him do that. And it was funny because for about a 6-hour period, his people kept coming back to me because the press got a hold of the story. And they tried to buy it back from me. They were like, we'll give you $100 for that gun. And I was like,
$100? No.
No. And then they came back and they were like, we'll give you $1,000 for that gun. And then I was like, no. Eventually they came back and they said, name your price, blank check. How much do you want for that gun?
That's a good question. If you got $1 million, would you have given that back?
Yes. It's just I'll go buy another replica gun at Mount Vernon. But it was special to me because I got it at Mount Vernon when I was living in DC, and I kept it on my counter as a display piece. And it's just something that people would come by, and I would talk to them about George Washington and where he got his gun. And I think that the actual one is at a military museum in at West Point. I'm not exactly sure yet, but I kept the gun, and when I was going to the presidential convention, it was interesting because the day that the presidential convention was going on was President's Day.
Very symbolic.
So it was hugely symbolic. So I had the gun, and if I won, then I would keep the gun and, I'd campaign for president as a libertarian. But if I lost to Gary Johnson or to John McAfee, I decided to myself that as a token of respect to the winner, that I would give them my gun to show them, that I'm with you in this fight.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of like, it's a big deal for a man to give another man a gun is like a huge gift of glory. Like
You've gotten a lot of gun gifts.
yeah, Robbie, for example, we don't want to say what guns that were gifted just because, in case anybody's a Fed listening in online. But I've gifted guns to friends. My dad has gifted me guns, and like, I will never sell a gun that my dad gifted to me because that is like such an important thing. And one day, when I have kids, I'll give them my guns and, teach them the importance of it and things. So when Gary symbolically threw that in the garbage, that symbol, it was a symbol of, his desire to not want to work with, my people. Right. And I think
it's a slap in the face,
and it's, haunted him to this day. So our listeners are messaging in saying, glad you got it back. I love hell nah, Austin, shame on you. I'm not sure what the shame on you is for. Probably because I would have sold it for $1 million. I mean,
probably.
It's $1 million.
I just wonder, is Elon a libertarian?
I think
that's where my head's going.
I get the impression that he is. I mean, not maybe a libertarian like you and I are, right? Maybe more of a left libertarian, if you will, but still a left libertarian is better to me than like a neocon or like a or a communist Democrat or something like that. So I don't know why Austin, if they tried to do something, even a local cop, they get that $50,000 fine, son. Not sure what you're trying to say there, Mad Mom and Non. I guess we'll have to talk about that when we get back. We missed the whole topic of the killer robots. Will we have time to talk about that when we get back? I think so.
Sure.
We've got a whole nother hour of the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. We'll be back with more. Don't forget, check out the AP for Liberty shop. It's Christmas time. Make sure you get your gifts in. You want to get your orders in now because I'm telling you, shipping is going to be, it's going to be a hassle.
Yeah, my Jell-O mold is delayed. I still don't have it.
Get those AP for Liberty shop orders in, or you may not get them in time. You don't want to miss out on getting an awesome Liberty gift at apforlibertyshop.com. That's apforlibertyshop.com. We'll be back with more.
My name is Kelvin. Welcome to Frenchy Bullshit. This is my Diddy's website. Now I've decided to speak to you with my real voice for the first time ever to tell you about how cool Frenchy Bullshit is. But I've decided that this is the perfect opportunity to share with you. Frenchy Bullshit is a good website. You should follow us on socials. If you like Frenchies or any kind of bulldogs, me and my new brother George are going to try to make your life more fun.
Hello, I'm George. My neck isn't really thick yet, but it will be. We are so glad you're here. Please ignore my floating eyeball. It helps me spot predators who might be approaching from the sides.
Didi made Frenchy Bullshit to review things that he uses on me and my brother to tell you if it's good or bullshit. Take this collar, for example. Didi really likes it. Didi said it's really handy because us Frenchies got thick necks. Need something really tough. People think Frenchies are little, but if you look at us from below, you can see we are really pretty buff. Beefcake. Yes. Look at my creamy thighs and chest. Yes. You like that?
Big brother, please focus.
Frenchy Bullshit. Please follow us for more great content and read the Frenchy Bullshit blog for more fun and cool stuff.
I'm a public defender.
I am a public defender.
I'm proud to be a public defender.
80% of Americans accused of a crime will get appointed a public defender.
Everybody from a speeding ticket to capital murder.
For every dollar we spend on public defenders, we spend $3 on prosecutors.
Public defenders have to do pretty much everything on their own.
Social workers, counselors.
Investigating is another piece of it.
The average public defender holds 300 cases annually.
You never feel like there's enough time.
Public defenders have health issues all the time.
A lot of people give up and say, I can't do this work anymore.
Gideon's Promise trains, mentors, and supports public defenders.
There are a lot of people who say that they would not still be public defenders, but for Gideon's Promise.
It's fueled me to continue on in this fight.
Gideon's Promise has changed the face of public defense.
People see us as troublemakers.
Good trouble only.
We don't make it easy. It should not be easy to take away someone's liberty.
Ever hear the one about the frog? Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out.
Here's my resume again.
But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. It's a lie. But as a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans,
Do you have any real-world experience?
it's a story that rings true. We make excuses for how we feel. We push everything down. We tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. And some days, maybe it is. But you've never been interested in easy. Make no mistake, reaching out is hard. Do it anyway. You're not alone. You've got this. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Yesterday, Pfizer announced they have an RSV vaccine for pregnant women, and they have plans to submit their trial data to the Food and Drug Administration for approval by the end of this year. The vaccine was designated as a breakthrough therapy by the FDA in March, which grants Pfizer an expedited development and review process. White House COVID-19 advisor says that he's, quote, hopeful there will be an RSV vaccine by next fall. According to the CDC, virtually all children develop an RSV infection by the time they are 2 years old. RSV is a common virus that produces cold-like symptoms, and about 0.5 up to 2% of children and infants who contract RSV require hospitalizations, and that rate is much higher among children younger than 6 months. Thankfully, the mortality rate is much lower. Pfizer's vaccine would be administered to pregnant women in their third trimester, and according to their phase 3 study, is about 82% effective at protecting against severe illness in the first 90 days of life, and about 57% effective at protecting against any illness during that time. The effectiveness, of course, wanes in the first 6 months of life, about another 10 to 15%. A separate drug manufacturer last year was in a close race with Pfizer to develop this maternal RSV vaccine when it paused its phase 3 trial earlier this year due to an undisclosed safety concern.
Good morning. It's 8:06. I'm Austin Petersen. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America Show at wakeupamericashow.com. Delighted to have you here. If you're watching us on Twitch or on Facebook or on Rumble, just do me a favor. Head on over to YouTube this morning and watch and join us over at youtube.com/AP4Liberty. If you haven't subscribed, even if you'd prefer to watch us on another platform, if you could just subscribe to YouTube, I would be super grateful because that helps us on our path. Well, as we try and earn as much money as possible, so that
then we can make it bigger and better with new equipment.
Exactly, and we can hire employees and all that kind of fun stuff. You can also visit the website at wakeupamericashow.com. Why is everybody talking about Jell-O molds this morning? I know what ambrosia is, but what is Watergate salad? I have no idea what we're talking about here. Al Johnson says, does Jell-O have to set when making ambrosia or Watergate salads? Everybody's talking about Jell-O molds this morning. I have no idea.
Well, we had a Jell-O mold at our Thanksgiving dinner, my mom and grandmother's recipe. It was a lime Jell-O mold with Cool Whip, squirt pop, or soda, I guess, wherever you're at in the country. And it also had pineapple in it. Super yummy.
Does that sound yummy to you? Send us a text, 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. Are you seeing YouTube commercials? I didn't think AP had a Pfizer commercial. I do not have a Pfizer commercial, but the thing is that YouTube has ads.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so YouTube ads will play whatever ad they want to play.
So it makes it look like you're a fan of Pfizer.
No, but I mean, if I can earn some money off of Pfizer, you know what? If I could take some of their money from evil and, use it for good.
All the unvaccinated people are going to come after you.
Yeah.
How dare you?
Yeah, the anti-vaxxers were really mad at me over the weekend. They were coming at me on Instagram because
Why?
it was actually just completely out of the blue. It was because I was making fun of pit bulls. And remember those memes that I was showing you and your mom on about pit bulls?
Hilarious.
Yes, I think at some point, pit bull owners are going to have to realize that they're softer than liberals because you can't even make a joke about pit bulls and they're like, you're contributing to these animals' abuse and blah blah blah. It's just listen, lady, and it's usually ladies and stuff. I mean, there are pit bull owners who are men, but. But it's why are you so upset? I mean, just because they happen to find children delicious, and I'm commenting on it, doesn't mean that I think that pit bulls should be banned. But whenever you say something unkind about pit bulls, people are like, oh, I thought you were a libertarian. Did you want to have pit bulls being banned and all that stuff? I'm like, no, I'm not saying that I think pit bulls should be banned. I'm saying that they just happen to find children quite delicious.
Right. Oh, it's because you shared that post about that person who was disabled and their pit bull who was a support dog.
Yeah, the support pit bull ate her.
Yes.
And ripped her up and almost chomped her leg off.
That's horrible.
Entirely. Well, it's because I posted the meme of the pit bull that's wearing the space uniform, and it says, report, pit bull joins Space Force for chance to bite children on other planets. And then the other meme that I posted that got people upset, heroic team, and it shows a bunch of pit bulls in a life raft. It says, heroic team of pit bulls head into floodwaters to bite children who survived Hurricane Florence.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we should use pit bulls as war dogs. Just send them out.
They have been. Wasn't
people.
Stubby the war dog from World War I? Wasn't he part pit bull? He was
definitely some type of bulldog.
Yeah, he wasn't like a full blown I think they say that he was an American bulldog. So yeah, I'm for using pit bulls for war dogs, but maybe putting a pit bull in bed with a child is a bad idea. I don't know. What do you think?
I think putting any dog in bed with a child is a bad idea until you really make sure that your dog feels comfortable around children. I mean, you got to watch them like a hawk, I think, especially when the kid is really young.
Yeah. What is going on with seed oils? Oh, that was another big conversation over the weekend. The whole seed oils.
On Twitter, yes.
Oh, yes. When I was a woman over the weekend.
Yes, he transitioned temporarily.
I transitioned to a beautiful blonde woman over there. It was just a test of the halo effect. For those who have no idea what I'm talking about. So on Twitter, I posted my profile pic was a beautiful blonde girl. Just to see how people reacted. I added 100 followers.
Beauty premium.
The beauty premium, as they call it, yes. The halo effect is that people, it's why you see so many stupid influencers who show their butt on Instagram, and people are like, oh my God, she's pretty, she must be right? And so when people see a beautiful person, they are more likely to believe that they're a good person and that what they say is true.
I'm not fooled by that.
You're not fooled by that.
No.
But most people are, because you're not stupid.
No, I'm not.
Most people are pretty dumb.
Again, I trust people who are not super attractive much more.
Well, yeah. So you see a nerdy looking person, you think automatically that they're intelligent.
Yes, that's why I used to have a crush on Bill Gates when I was in middle school, but now I've learned not to do that.
So you have what's called the ugly premium.
Yes.
So you see an ugly person, you're like, they must be intelligent.
On to them.
Yes. It's all a distraction, says Robbie Thurman. Okay, so the seed oils thing. So just very briefly, so I latched onto it just because, our conspiracy friends are all freaking out. They're like, seed oils are poison, they're killing you, and people were getting mad because I was like, I think seed oils are delicious because they are. Like we're
Talking grapeseed oil, or what? What are you talking about?
and you could talk about avocado oil.
Oh, I love avocado oil. Yes.
Oh, it's poison. It's poison.
These are healthier alternatives.
Mhm.
I did used to be more into that holistic realm.
Right,
and
right.
I believe in that.
I know, but it's woo woo.
I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's research
How
behind
dare
seed
you.
oils.
Well, yeah, the research behind seed oils is that if you eat too much Crisco, you're going to blow up to 500 pounds.
Yes, people did get very upset at me when I made Ron Paul's wife's chocolate chip cookie recipe and it called for Crisco. And people were like, how dare you use Crisco? That's gross. It's like, that's Ron Paul's wife. Okay.
Right.
Not me.
Yeah. So, yeah, let's not forget AP spent some time identifying as a woman over the weekend. Thank you, Camellia. Yes, that is what we're discussing, as well as seed oils.
And I was very supportive.
I know. I appreciated that, by
Yes.
the way. Thank you for supporting me in my temporary transition. I was a woman, and I claimed all of the benefits of such, and then all 100 followers that I got from that, and then I was back to being a man. But the thing with the seed oils is it relies on the same logical fallacies that anti-vaxxers used when it came to not the COVID vaccine, but other vaccines.
Like the flu shot.
Like the flu shot. So thimerosal in vaccines, mercury in vaccines.
Yes.
Right. Remember when I did that interview with that chick on Instagram?
She's a very attractive woman.
She shows her butt a lot.
Yes,
which
so
means,
people believe her.
Which means that her scientific views should absolutely be trusted. The more ass in a profile, the more they're likely to be science-based.
Absolutely.
But when we talked about those vaccines, we talked about mercury in vaccines. I was like, so which form of mercury are we talking about here? And she's like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, there are two forms of mercury, right? Ethyl mercury and methyl mercury. And say that again. Ethyl mercury. God.
Ethyl mercury.
Ethyl mercury.
Say that
and
5
methyl
times fast.
mercury. How long later?
2 hours later.
2 hours later.
Yeah, I used to be all into this kind of stuff.
I know you did. I know we've had a lot of conversations about that.
I used to be that pretty girl saying the same things as her.
Right. But the problem is that when it comes to like your logical fallacies, this is one, it's a dosage, right? The question of dosage. So people don't know that there's formaldehyde in breast milk, for example. Did you know that there's formaldehyde in breast milk?
Right. It's naturally occurring.
Yeah. And, another one is like the naturalistic fallacy. Well, it's natural, so it must be healthy. Well, arsenic is natural.
Right. What is it? Tomatoes or apples?
Tomatoes are deadly nightshade.
Right.
Yeah. If you can't feed tomatoes to dogs because the poison content in tomatoes is high enough that it can make them sick. It probably won't kill them, but
it's with anything in life. It's all about moderation.
Well, it's about dosage. Right. It's like another little like joke, a little prank that I like to play on my conspiracy friends is to talk about the lethal chemical dihydrogen monoxide that's in everything. And Penn and Teller did a show one time called BS, where they went out and they asked people to sign a petition banning dihydrogen monoxide.
Oh no, we die.
You know what dihydrogen monoxide is?
It's water.
It's water, yes. Give her a big round of applause for that, for knowing what that is.
Remember?
Yes. So if you eat seed oils in too high of an amount, you'll die, right? The thing is that seed oils are highly, highly concentrated, caloric content. Right. Yes. So it's like you can get a tiny, tiny amount of Crisco and the amount of calories in it are going to be massive. Right. Mm-hmm. So it's not a good idea for you to eat a lot of Crisco. It's not a good idea for you to eat a lot of vegetable oil. Right. It's not a good idea for you to eat a lot of anything. Mm-hmm. If you drink too much dihydrogen monoxide, you'll get dihydrogen monoxide poisoning. You'll get water poisoning.
Oh, absolutely. Your lungs, you literally can drown yourself.
Right. But, when it comes to holistic foods, they all typically rely, the people who push these kinds of theories, like the anti-vaxxers, when it comes to not the COVID vaccine, again, that's a completely different conversation, because we're talking about mRNA vaccines versus the older traditional vaccines.
Right.
They commit, logical fallacies. And the number one is the fallacy of dosage, that you just don't understand that in certain amounts, anything can kill you. Right.
Sure. I'm just really hopeful that more and more research will come out just to help give people peace of mind on both sides.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate that like the dumber you are, typically, or the more stupid you are, the more attention you get, and like the more popular you are. It's just kind of how the world works these days.
Yeah, I don't understand it really.
I mean, I kind of do. It's because people thinking is hard. Who wants to do this?
We're all afraid. This is all fear-based.
Mm-hmm. Yep, fear. Fear is
so we latch on to anybody that can make us feel better.
Absolutely. Yeah, but I mean, also people get addicted to fear.
Yes.
And we've talked about this before, where it's like, you talk to a lot of clients.
Yeah, negative emotions are addicting.
Absolutely. Yeah, maybe we should talk about that when we get back on the Wake Up America show at wakeupamericashow.com.
Want an engaging website to boost your business? You're just a click away from 5-star Fiverr talent. Hundreds of freelancer skills like web design. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
American conservatism is distinct, like America is distinct from the United Kingdom. American conservatism's roots comes out of the Wild West, out of pioneerism. The difference between American conservatives and European conservatives is that Americans are cowboys. We are that God, guns, gold, and girls. It's wild here. And we should stay that way. We shouldn't allow a European version of conservatism to come and infect us here. We like it wide open spaces here, deep in the heart of Texas and all that.
Austin's wife. I want to thank you all for watching the Wake Up America show with Austin Petersen. This show has been a huge venture for our family, so we would love it if you could join us.
I believe in liberty, and I believe in Austin's ability to spread the ideas of liberty. Do you?
I want to ask you today to join Petersen's Patriots with a pledge of $17.76 a month. Help us to stay cancel-proof so we can spread the message of limited government across the country. I joined Petersen's Patriots myself, just in a little different way. Visit wakeupamericashow.com/support and make your pledge today.
Average Americans are turning into conspiracy theorists at an unprecedented rate. Flip City Magazine was created for new converts to aid in their in-depth research along the path of absolute truth. We offer the hardest-hitting news and opinion delivered uncensored in print directly to your door. Display proudly on your coffee table or hide discreetly under your mattress. Flip City is the magazine they don't want you to see, much less read. Subscribe to Flip City Magazine today at flipcitymag.com.
Hello, I'm George. Thank you for watching the Wake Up America show with my dad. Today, I'd like to share with you 3 reasons why you should visit Dad's online store at apforlibertyshop.com. Number 1, you can get exclusive freedom-loving merch designed by AP himself or me mom, Steffi. Liberty Laura has made some designs as well, and blimey, they are great. Number 2, most of these products are so wicked that they aren't even allowed to be advertised on Facebook or Instagram. Modern machine guns and a proper keychain. Plus, our Grover Cleveland t-shirt is so spicy apparently that leftists on Facebook specifically banned it from appearing on the website. Number 3, you're supporting liberty lovers just like you. Spend your money where you earn it, and you help me Pops build a community that supports what you believe. Bloody hell, this commercial is running too long. Gotta run. Bye now. Don't forget to visit apforlibertyshop.com. That's apforlibertyshop.com.
Good morning. It's 8:21. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show with Austin Petersen. I'm AP, and I'm joined in studio by my lovely wife, Stephanie Petersen. Give her a round of applause. How's she been doing this morning? Appreciate you coming in today, Steffi.
Oh, thank you. I love to be here.
Yeah.
I love to give my mom a show.
Yeah, my mother-in-law, Verna Cole, is joining us here in studio as well. Let's give her an applause. You can see her here on camera. There she is. It's a little bit dark. You can see it there in this lovely bar here. There's another shot of lovely Stephanie Petersen. She's all lit up right over there. And you can see the sun is just starting to come up through the windows out there.
Oh, it was a beautiful sunrise this morning.
Oh, that must be nice. I never get to see the sunrise because I'm always prepping for the show in the morning. You can text us today at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. Quest Fanning messaged in. He says that the problem with seed oils is the concentration of linoleic acid. It's okay in limited quantities, like you'd naturally find in fruits and vegetables, but you wouldn't eat 100 vegetables in a day. Absolutely not. I like vegetables, but I don't think I would eat 100 vegetables in a day.
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's the problem is the dosage question there. So you don't want to eat too much saturated fat. You don't want to eat too many French fries a day. You want to have a nice moderation, right? But whenever there's a new social media trend that says some new form of food is evil or disgusting or going to kill you or something like that, you should have been skeptical. Just like I was always skeptical about like the claims of like how unhealthy meat was. But last week, Stephanie, you saw that article I was talking about
red meat.
All of these claims for years about the health dangers of red meat. That red meat causes cancer.
Yes.
It causes hypertension. People who eat too much red meat are more likely to get strokes. And all of this research had been debunked.
I believed it back when they said that it caused bad things. I also have been skeptical.
But you wanted to believe it, didn't you? Wasn't that during your vegetarian period?
Oh, yes, of course. So being a vegetarian, I'm healthier, of course.
Because you weren't
don't
eating
eat
red
pizza.
meat.
No.
Oh, right.
I was almost borderline diabetic when I was a vegetarian.
Really?
Yes, because I ate so many carbs. Lots of breadsticks at Olive Garden.
Right. Isn't that interesting? You probably thought that you were on a healthy diet.
I did. I felt like I was healthier, but now that I have more protein, I don't have fainting spells like I used to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Camellia says you can say the same thing about fruit juice. Yeah, fruit juice is just full of sugar.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you look at that sugar content,
but it used to be that it was like, oh, have fruit juice. It's healthy because it's from fruit. But if you want to get the health benefits of fruit, eat the fruit because then you get a little bit of fiber with it.
Right, and then some dietitians. I once told a dietitian how many strawberries I ate in a day, and she's like, "Cut down on the strawberries a little bit." So even eating too much fruit is a bad thing because of the sugar content.
Strawberries are high in sugar, right? And like pineapple.
I love pineapple.
Pineapple is delicious, but it's basically like a sugar bomb.
Yes.
I mean, what's I guess a healthy fruit? I mean, I guess an apple because it's got a lot of fiber, high fiber content.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Is that still the case, or have we changed now?
I have no idea. You can text us at 573-319-1586. That's 573-319-1586. Mad Mama Nam is encouraging everybody who's watching the YouTube channel this morning to give the stream a like.
Oh, yes.
A lot of people forget when they're watching the show that like it helps us a lot if you would interact by like giving the stream a like. So if it looks like we've got like, let's see, we've got about.
What does that really do when they get a like? Does that help with monetization, I wonder, or help bring it up in the search?
Yes. So it helps push it into people's feeds. So this morning, if you are watching the show, we've got 31 people watching this morning. If you could just give the stream a like, we would be super appreciative because it would help us to get the stream in other people's feeds this morning.
And share it.
That would be super helpful. But another thing that you can do too, and again, it costs you absolutely nothing, is you can click that bell notification icon in the bottom of the screen. So while you're watching us on YouTube, you like it, you share it is great. Obviously, subscribe to the channel is another thing. But if you click that bell notification icon whenever I go live, which sometimes I do like stream my talks and appearances and things like that,
right,
it'll give you a notification on your YouTube app whenever we're live. So and I'm guessing in the new year we're probably going to have a lot of exciting events because things have been really picked up. Our October was really crazy. So
yes, I'm really hopeful. I hope more colleges have you come speak because I like going to those events.
Yeah, the college speeches are always really fun. And last time we did it down in my old alma mater in Missouri State University in Springfield. We had a full house and it was really exciting. And I had good conversations with people. And I always get the same question though whenever I go, which Remember what it is? The question that I always get?
About religion. If you
Mhm.
don't believe in a religion, then how do you get your morals?
Yes. If you don't believe in a God, then how do you get how do you have any fixed moral principles?
Right.
And so my answer to that is always, we hold these truths to be self-evident. So have to explain to people, what the Declaration of Independence was talking about when Jefferson said that there are these things that are self-evident truths. 1+1 = 2, and all people deserve the same rights to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, and that is, in my mind and in Jefferson's mind, it was a self-evident truth.
Right.
Mr. Dore or Mr. Doe over on Twitch says, y'all on Twitch?
Yeah.
Y'all read chat? Yes, we
are on
Twitch.
And the chat comes up in the stream
And
from
yes,
Twitch.
yes, we do read chat. So, good morning, Mr. D. We're glad to have you there this morning. And we're happy to have you. So let's give Mr. D an applause and a big welcome.
My mom's clapping for you too.
We always love seeing our new friends in the morning. Terry Miller's joining us this morning as well. Terry, all of our friends. Glad to have you here. And we really gotten off topic this morning. Somebody said, I really wanted to hear about killer robots. Let's talk about the killer robots.
Let's talk about killer robots.
Let's do it because we absolutely, should be talking about this. This is an important discussion. San Francisco authorities have proposed a policy that would allow its military-style robots to use deadly force in situation where someone's life is in danger and other dangerous instances. This is a draft policy that came out from the San Francisco Police Department, and it outlines how it would use their 17 remote-controlled unmanned robots, which are usually used to do things like defuse bombs and deal with hazardous materials. They say robots will only be used as a deadly force option when risk of loss of life to members of the public or officers is imminent and outweighs any other force option available to the San Francisco Police Department. Steffi, your thoughts?
The concept is great in theory, but how often do your electronics malfunction? When I was looking up this topic, I was led to videos of robots malfunctioning. And it's like, what if a robot accidentally kills the wrong person or goes crazy and just starts shooting guns up in the air and hitting people?
So you would say, okay, well, we don't want to create a precedent, but the problem is that we already have a precedent, right? So we have robots killing people in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Right, drones. I remember when that was a huge thing. We were all freaking out about drones, and now we use them for our Amazon packages.
Right, and there's certain parts of the drone that are automated. But I think, I'm not entirely sure, but I think, and maybe this is classified information, but the actual firing of the rocket is something that is done at the command of the president, or a person is responsible for doing that.
Yes.
So here's the thing. So let me play devil's advocate, a robot's advocate for just a moment. If someone's life is in danger and you have an unmanned robot, right, and you can set it with a Glock or an M16 or whatever, and it's in a hostage situation, and you can use it to save the hostage. I mean, would I do it? Absolutely, I would do it. But the problem is that when the government does it, it seems to be, I don't know. It's kind of like with euthanasia in Canada, right? The libertarian says, yeah, you own your life, you own your body, you ought to be able to do these. Please, assisted suicide is the kind of thing that is a moral choice that an individual should be able to make. But now Canada is I read yesterday, they're talking about extending it to the homeless.
Oh my gosh.
So the problem is that when you give the government a power like this, at one point they're saying, oh, we're just going to use it to save lives. We're just going to use it to save lives.
It's a slippery slope.
Yeah,
where do you draw the line?
I used to not believe in the whole slippery slope argument, but now I kind of do, just because we've seen it.
Yes.
We've seen it happen in government. We've seen it happen with things like Drag Queen Story Hour, which we're going to talk about.
Uh-oh. This is a problematic subject in our household.
We're going to talk about that when we get back on the Wake Up America Show at wakeupAmericaShow.com.
Are you exposed to hazardous materials while serving in the military and have an illness or condition as a result?
If so, you may be eligible for VA benefits and services.
Whether you need health care or want to file a disability compensation claim related to military exposures, VA is here to help.
Visit va.gov/military-exposures to learn more and apply today.
If there wasn't going to be somebody who was a fiery champion of liberty, somebody who would get out there and who would be aggressive, and if they wouldn't do it with more fire or passion than I had, then I would go and I would fight this battle for us. I've fought for the principles that we all share. Parties tend to be secondary to me. We're here because we believe in the principles of liberty. I am not a perfect messenger, but I think I'm a damn good one. This is a replica of our first president's flintlock pistol. You have my full support, my respect, and my gun. Thank you, Ben.
Had enough yet? Do facts no longer matter? Are lies to be encouraged instead of punished? This is not our inheritance. If truth no longer matters, we will not remain free for long. This is our generation's challenge, to defend our founders' hope that we the people could self-govern if we defend our right to get the facts. And right now, we're building the only defense of free people have, the facts on every politician, every position they held, every statement they've made, every vote they've made, and any cash they've taken. It's the real history on those now pandering for your vote. There are hundreds of young people building our defense right now, and they need your help. We all have our passions, but as our ancestors knew, when events become so foul they threaten us all, we must stand and defend each other. Please, have our backs. Join us at votesmart.org.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be.
There is no typical firefighter.
We wish you a freedom Christmas. We wish you a freedom Christmas. We wish you a freedom Christmas and a liberty New Year. Socialists and commies may try to convince you that the holiday's all about free stuff. But let's be honest, we all know whose wallet Santa's gifts are coming out of. There ain't no such thing as a free stocking. Santa is the only guy with a big white beard promising free stuff that we want anything to do with this holiday. And if you don't believe, you don't receive. It's a capitalist, consumerist holiday, and it's time for a Santa-sized stimulus. Get your free market merch at the AP for Liberty shop today and stuff your socialist sisters' stockings full of capitalist cheer. Ho, 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 ho! Good morning, it's 8:35. I'm Austin Petersen. It's time to rise in freedom. Happy Monday. Thanks so much for tuning in to the Wake Up America Show at wakeupamericashow.com. Joining me in studio is my lovely, smoking hot, redheaded wife, Stephanie Petersen. Give her a round of applause. Steffi. Hello. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. And don't forget to check out the AP for Liberty Shop website. We had a really good holiday season. We had a nice Thanksgiving, wouldn't you say?
Oh, we did. It was so wonderful. We had great company. We had our friends, the Mosleys with us, my mom, Austin's dad.
We ate lots of turkey and stuffing and
We had so much food. Green bean casserole. We also had lots of Jewish food. Kugel, matzo ball soup, challah. My mom and I had to go to St. Louis to a deli where we saw AJ Mole. Hello, AJ, if you're watching.
yeah, big fan of AJ.
Mhm.
We had Kugel, not to be confused with Kegels.
To do kegels after dinner.
Yes. 573-319-1586 is the text line. You can send in a text again at 573-319-1586. Camellia says she was so bummed on Black Friday. Thought I found my flooring, was going to save $1,000, then discovered at the last minute it was the wrong wear thickness.
No, we did get a refrigerator.
Oh, yeah, we did.
We did.
We've been having refrigerator issues. It like leaked and got underneath our wood panels.
Our floor, we were told we
nightmare.
had to replace our entire floor, but we didn't listen, and the floor's fine
It is fine. Good. I'm glad.
for now.
Exactly.
I mean, it might be growing mold. I don't know.
The big guy over on YouTube is commenting on the killer robots.
Yes.
He says, I'm not against using robots altogether, but there should definitely be publicly discussed and agreed upon guidelines. I like that.
Absolutely.
Isaac Asimov, he was like a science fiction writer. He wrote books about the artificial intelligence Bill of Rights, or like the code of conduct. I can't
That's
remember.
cool.
Yeah, it was like, let's see if I can remember.
Because one day they're going to become so prevalent in our society where they are going to need a rule book.
Robot rules.
And honestly, I would much rather have robots out there fighting on the front line than people.
Here it is.
I would.
I found it. The Isaac Asimov's 3 Laws of Robotics. If you've ever seen the movie Alien or Aliens,
I saw that.
yeah, any of those, like Sigourney Weaver's movie, there's a robot that's like the artificial intelligence, like cyber
Yes, he was
character.
a really cute robot. I remember.
Yeah, well, it depends on your definition. Really cute. Anyways, but they talked about these rules of robotics in it, and it is number 1: a robot may not injure a human being or through an action allow a human being to come to harm. So if they did that, then the killer robots would not be allowed, because that would violate the law of robotics. Number 3: a robot must obey orders given it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law. So a human being would not be able to tell a robot to go kill another human being, because that would violate the first law of robotics.
Maybe they need to follow the nap. Is that what it is?
Well, but these are the laws of robotics written by Isaac Asimov. The third law of robotics was a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second law. I mean, it sounds, fairly straightforward and simple.
Sure.
And I like that. But that would essentially outlaw killer robots. When we're talking about artificial intelligence, when we program artificial intelligence, it's by definition, it's intelligent, so it can sort of, I guess, think for itself.
Right, it's a fake brain.
Right, a fake brain. But, why is it a fake brain and ours real?
Right. I mean, we have test tube babies now that we grow.
Mm-hmm. At some point, like we're gonna have a real big discussion in society about a Bill of Rights for robots, and there already have been like legislation that's been introduced.
You can write the Bill of Rights for robots. You are the Thomas Jefferson of our era.
Wow, that's kind of a big compliment there.
That's right.
You can text the show this morning at 573-319-1586. What do you think about the laws of robotics by Isaac Asimov? Do you think that those are good ones that we should abide by? I'd love to hear from you on that one. Tolly Owens just joins us for a few minutes this morning. Good morning, Tolly.
Hi, Tolly.
Glad to have you here.
Your Christmas card will be coming soon.
Yes, it will. My parents' refrigerator stopped working last Wednesday morning, so Thanksgiving involved lots of coolers, said Doug H. Yes. Very good. Jacob Champion, my old buddy, Jacob Champion, who became a father in the last year, I believe, said that the first law would make it impossible to solve a trolley problem. Very true. You know what the trolley problem is?
No.
It's basically where you have 3 people strapped to a trolley tracks, and then another person on a different set of tracks. If you could save the 3 lives and switch the trolley to kill the one person, would you do it?
because they can't kill a person.
Well, yeah, the robot would not be able to under Isaac Asimov's.
Right.
So it would kind of
yes,
like
I think that would make sense.
it would self-destruct in a sense if it did something like
Saving
that.
more.
It's really good to see you here, Jacob, by the way. Thank you so much for joining us on the Wake Up America show. Maria this morning says, "Oh, I figured it out. You know those really expensive turkey and Christmas tree butters? You can reuse the plastic they come in and mold your own butter for cheap."
How cool.
How the hell did we get to that subject?
We're just talking about molds of all kinds.
Robbie says military drones are killer robots. Yeah, exactly. That's
yes, and we all freaked out about those, but now we're just used to them. We become numb to things after they've been out there for a while.
Kenneth Slayer is out there quoting Frank Herbert saying, "Thou shalt not make a machine to counterfeit a man's mind." He says it's no better. No AI should be allowed. Yeah, there are a lot of people that think that way. Elon Musk actually thinks artificial intelligence is very dangerous.
Wow, but yet he's the one manning a lot of this research.
Well, he's actually creating artificial intelligence for Tesla cars.
Yes. And SpaceX does a lot of AI stuff too.
Yes, it does. I had to hit the cough button there. The big guy says, good for autonomous robots, but I think we are still talking about remote control devices. Yeah, autonomous robots is a big difference between remote control devices like drones.
And I mean, there's robotic surgeries too. I don't know if my mom had surgery that was robotic, but yeah, I mean, we're trusting those with human bodies, saving people all the time.
Yes, we don't have to stay on topic, on your topic in the chat, AP, says Rare Chameleon. Okay, true. Okay, thank you.
Yes, ADHD today. I'm diagnosing all of you.
Everyone with ADHD today. All right. Well, speaking of ADHD, what were we supposed to be talking about? Oh, yes. This, let's head over to our Twitter weirdness for this video that we're going to play here. I played this for Stephanie yesterday. We've been having this conversation in our household quite a bit.
Yes.
Take a listen to this clip.
Yeah, we should.
How is a human being dressing how they want to dress, sexualizing anything? It's a human body. Why is that a sexual thing?
So you think adults should be able to wear whatever they want in front of children?
Sure.
So
Canadians are really uptight. They go to sure. Why not? It's a body. It's a human body. Why not?
So
it's a human body.
Should we have naked men reading to little kids?
Sure, it's a human body.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Sure, it's a human body. It's a human body. Stephanie, your reaction to that clip? Because this is in context of Drag Queen Story Hours.
I understand her logic that like human bodies are human bodies. Like, sure, you know, there's people in art classes that are drawing naked models in front of them. Like,
not in elementary school.
Right. So I think you got to draw the line with your kids. But in terms of like adults, you know, running the naked mile or, you know, there's all these nudity activities like in Key West. There was Fantasy Festival and people are naked. So it's like, yeah, nudity is great. But then you say, okay, for kids, reading books to kids, not so sure that's a good idea.
That's not exactly what you've been saying to me. And
well, we've been talking about drag queens. Drag queens are not
that's
naked
what she's
in front
getting.
of children.
Well, that's what she's getting. Well, actually, some of the Drag Queen Story Hours,
right?
They have like shown that the drag queens have exposed themselves to young people.
Right. So that's not okay. So it's like this. There's a lot of gray area there where you say what is too revealing and what's not. Like if a woman is wearing revealing clothes and showing her cleavage. And she has her little son with her walking around at the grocery store. Should that be allowed? Should we call protective services on that mother?
I mean, maybe.
You know? Right. You know, all those women, they've been on the Maury Povich show, I remember. And they used to have these where they would get redressed as a modest woman and their kids would be crying on stage like, Mom, I've always wanted you to dress nicer. Yeah. It's hard to say, but I say parents got to parent. The government can't parent the parents.
Right. No, I think the government can parent the parents when the parents are actually abusing their children.
If it's abuse, yes. I am a social worker, a mandated reporter. So yes, I do believe in that.
The World Naked Bike Ride in St. Louis sounds great, but it's 99% old gay dudes. So if you're into that, I'm happy for you. Says Chris Morrill. Very funny. I don't see any net good from naked strangers with children. That lady is crazy. Yeah, I agree. So it's it's like Drag Queen Story Hour. Are some of them, going to be perfectly fine? They're reading Dr. Seuss. They're completely covered and nothing bad is going to happen. Sure. But what's the benefit, right? The risk that you're going to put them in a situation where they might be compromised is greater than the reward of them getting a story time read to them by a man in a dress.
And that's where you have to be a responsible parent. Not all parents are that responsible. So
Mhm.
you say, who can guide that parent? Whose responsibility is it?
Well, so this is why, and last night you were like, Austin, you're a statist. You called me a
Yes,
my wife called me a
because
statist.
he
last
wanted
night.
the government to basically call the cops on these people who are letting their kids go to drag queen
No,
story
I
hour.
would call the cops. I would call the
Right.
government on that, on them and for doing that. Because, and that is really what separates me from an anarchist. Because when I ran for president in 2016, we're talking about this a lot today, I was notoriously booed for suggesting that you should not be able to sell heroin to 5-year-olds.
Right. I definitely agree with you there. Yes. That would be abuse. As a mandated reporter, I
but
would
you're
have
a
to
statist,
call.
so you would call the government.
Yes.
So you're not an anarchist.
Right. I'm not an anarchist. I do say I'm a minarchist, where I do believe in the police, but I also say, to what point we have to draw the line somewhere. And that's the line that's a gray area for me.
So
And
you
that's
don't
something
think,
that has to be discussed.
So let me just establish this and be very clear. You do not believe that it should be illegal and the cops should kick down your door if you sell heroin to a 5-year-old.
Oh, it should be illegal. Yes. In terms of drugs, that is abusive to a child. Yes. Right.
We're going to have to continue this conversation on the other side of the break. It is a good discussion, though.
It is. It gets people very heated like me.
Yes, very heated. We'll have to continue this conversation or talk about whatever randomness, some recipe that they're talking about over in the live stream this morning when we get back on the Wake Up America Show at wakeupAmericaShow.com.
My name is Kelvin. Welcome to Frenchy Bush. This is my Didi's website. Now I've decided to speak to you with my real voice for the first time ever to tell you about how cool Frenchy Bush is. But I've decided that this is the perfect opportunity to share with you. Frenchy Bush is a good website. You should follow us on socials. If you like Frenchies or any kind of bulldogs, me and my new brother George are going to try to make your life more fun.
Hello, I'm George. My neck isn't really thick yet, but it will be. We are so glad you're here. Please ignore my floating eyeball. It helps me spot predators who might be approaching from the sides.
Didi made Frenchy bullshit to review things that he uses on me and my brother to tell you if it's good or bullshit. Take this collar, for example. Didi really likes it. Didi said it's really handy because us Frenchies got thick necks, need something really tough. People think Frenchies are little, but if you look at us from below, you can see we are really pretty buff. Beefcake. Yes. Look at my creamy thighs and chest. Yes. You like that?
Big brother, please focus.
Frenchy Bush. Please follow us for more great content and read the Frenchy Bush blog for more fun and cool stuff.
I'm a public defender.
I am a public defender.
I'm proud to be a public defender.
80% of Americans accused of a crime will get appointed a public defender.
Everybody from a speeding ticket to capital murder.
For every dollar we spend on public defenders, we spend $3 on prosecutors.
Public defenders have to do pretty much everything on their own.
Social workers, counselors.
Investigating is another piece of it.
The average public defender holds 300 cases annually.
You never feel like there's enough time.
Public defenders have health issues all the time.
A lot of people give up and say, I can't do this work anymore.
Gideon's Promise trains, mentors, and supports public defenders.
There are a lot of people who say that they would not still be public defenders, but for Gideon's Promise.
It's fueled me to continue on in this fight.
Gideon's Promise has changed the face of public defense.
People see us as troublemakers.
Good trouble only.
We don't make it easy. It should not be easy to take away someone's liberty.
Ever hear the one about the frog? Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out.
Here's my resume again.
But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. It's alive. but as a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans.
Do you have any real-world experience?
It's a story that rings true. We make excuses for how we feel. We push everything down. We tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. And some days, maybe it is. But you've never been interested in easy. Make no mistake, reaching out is hard. Do it anyway.
I need help.
You're not alone. You've got this. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Good morning. It's 8:52. You're watching and listening to the Wake Up America show at wakeupAmericaShow.com. Join me now for the final segment. Who's been with me this morning? My lovely bride, Stephanie Petersen. Big applause for Stephanie. Thanks so much. We've had a lot of people watching the show today. I think it's probably because we've got a smoking hot redheaded libertarian girl on the show.
We're both attractive. The beauty premium.
Yes, lovely. My skin is actually very nice.
You've got way better skin than me.
Yeah, if you can kind of see there, almost blemish-free entirely.
Yes.
Let's see if we can zoom in on Steffi's face. Oh, wait, I don't have that camera ability just yet. It's been a great show today. What have we talked about? Kanye West.
Oh my gosh.
Running for president.
Look at people, drag queens, attractive women with big boobs, school, Jello molds. This is the variety hour.
All of the most important things for sure this morning. I think the big takeaway from the Kanye West presidential campaign, the big takeaway from that story is that Kanye had the guts to ask President Trump to be his VP, which I thought was pretty friggin' hilarious.
Kanye he doesn't get social cues almost. He doesn't even really think about things before he says them clearly.
Well, he's admitted that he's bipolar. And
is he? Yeah, I didn't know that.
He's supposed to be on medication. So.
And he's unmedicated?
Yeah. I'm not sure about nobody knows about their medications. Than
Is there a psychological test that needs to be done before someone becomes president?
You know what? That's actually a really good point. And speaking of creeps and presidential.
Oh, boy.
Let's head over to our Twitter weirdness. Take a look at this picture of Joe Biden looking in the window. Yeah, I know. You can't see it.
Oh, I did look at it,
Did you see this? Yes, this picture.
Did.
Take a look here, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like a mannequin
in
a window.
Yeah, so we've got these two little kids there, and they're looking terrified as Joe Biden creepily peeks in the window here. Now, I think that this is actually I think this is a mistake for Joe Biden to do this because he's already kind of known as like the kid sniffer.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I say to myself here, I was putting myself in his shoes and I said, okay, what if people on the street, if I was like a celebrity or something, right? And they were like, oh my God, Steffi, come pose with us. And I was outside the window. Like, what would I do? I'd probably make like a cute face, like, yeah.
Stephanie, stop. You're not known as a kid sniffer, okay?
No, I'm not. But like, how can he undo that, right? The past is the past. So like, how can he undo the sniffing of the children?
I'm not sure. It would definitely give me
emotional damage.
For sure. But what about you? Send us a text, 573-319-1586. So we talked about Kanye West running for president. You decided that you would vote for him.
Absolutely. He can't be any worse than Trump, honestly.
Yeah. Joe just biding his time till he sniffs, says Quest Fanning this morning. That's right. Kanye's bonkers? No way, says Chris Morrill.
Now, should Joe Biden be able to do story hour at the library?
You know what, Steffi? Good point.
Should we put him in front of children because he's known to sniff them? Maybe we'll be calling protective services.
That's a good point.
I don't know, guys. Should we make a law? Should we ban Joe Biden from libraries?
Yeah, you know what, Steffi, I think you've got a really good point there.
There we go.
Yeah, so all right. So on the Kanye presidential campaign, Steffi's going to give him thumbs up. for Kanye,
sure.
and I'm going to say thumbs down. I'm not a Kanye voter. I'm still holding out for that Ron DeSantis, hoping he gets out there. Richard Bell says he's got to go. Have a good one, everyone. Thank you for joining us, Richard. We appreciate you. Rich was one of my big supporters for my presidential campaign back in 2016, so we appreciate you very much. What else did we talk about today? Killer robots. Did we decide whether or not we thought it was a good idea? I think I'm a thumbs down on killer robots. So I'm a no.
I think that we really have to work out all the technical stuff, but I think eventually it would be smart to go there so we can save people's lives, especially in military situations.
Yep.
Or SWAT team situations where there's an armed person inside a house. Send that robot inside the house. How much damage can it really do?
Yeah,
right?
see, they do that already, but the robots aren't armed and like capable of killing.
Right.
Yeah, but maybe like non-lethal, right? Like tasers or those shotgun shells that are non-lethal and stuff like that.
Right, a paintball gun.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, there you go. All right, so we reach a compromise.
I've heard of somebody that actually had their testicle hurt by a paintball gun and they needed surgery. It was not good. Yeah, so don't mess with paintball guns.
Ouch. Thank you. Oh God.
No, God.
No, thank you. We gotta go. Steffi?
Yes, on that note.
It's been fun. Hopefully it's advertiser friendly so our video doesn't get demonetized. Thanks for watching the Wake Up America show, wakeupamericashow.com. There's another show today, Stephanie.
Another show?
Do we know what this other show is?
Well, it's on the Real Talk Radio Network out of Chesterfield, Missouri from 2 to 3 Central Time in the afternoon.
2 p.m.
2 p.m.
If people want to hear more AP today, they're like, oh my God, I'm running out of heroin. I need some more AP. Where can they hear the Real Talk show?
Real Talk Radio Network, you can download the app. So it'll say Real Talk Radio Network 93.3 on Google.
Yeah.
Get the app. You can also, I don't know if they have it. They don't have it streaming on their Facebook page.
No, but you can go to the website. Real Talk 933
Radio. And
FM.
you also probably share things.
I share it. I tweet it.
We can share it.
Yeah, but we need people to set their alarms because they're like, oh, I forgot that it's 2 p.m. I need to turn on AP. So you want to hear the afternoon show at 2 p.m. Central Time, whatever time zone you're in. We know we got people from all over the country listening.
That's right.
So set an alarm for 2 p.m. Central, 3 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, that's how you can get out of a work party. Gotta go. Gotta listen to AP
on.
now.
Yeah, download the app so you can listen into us. Hey, also want to give a big shout out and a big say goodbye to our lovely mother-in-law, Verna Petersen. Verna, thanks so much for coming in today.
St. Louis.
We're going to say goodbye to Verna. We appreciated her coming and joining us for the Thanksgiving holiday. It was a good time. We love her very much, and we hope to see her again very soon. And we'll see you this afternoon at 2 p.m. on the Wake Up America show at wakeupamericashow.com.
I like shooting things, but whenever I can't shoot something, I like to cut things. My life isn't all about shooting and stabbing and cutting, though. Sometimes I have to do actual work, but when I work, I still like to have fun. And there's nothing less fun than trying to cut with a crappy knife. Thankfully, from the ancient sect of Christian knights, who also loved cutting and stabbing, comes a new implement that has received my personal blessing, the Templar knife. Like the ancient sword of Excalibur, you don't choose a Templar knife, it chooses you. You just decide what kind you want on the website first, however, and then order it online, and then it chooses you. The Templar knife comes in a variety of shapes shapes. As a man of culture and taste, I have decided I will never use a terrible knife again. And thanks to the inspiration provided by this excellent product, I have decided to launch a new crusade against anyone using less than superior knives. Join me, brothers and sisters, by visiting uppercuttactical.com/pages/Templar-knives. That's a lot of slashes. For that, you'll need a Templar knife. For 10% off, use code AP for Liberty and join me in a quest for glory, for liberty, for Christendom, for the Templar knife. Get yours today.
Fire.
Your printing company stinks. They charge you too much money and they don't love America enough. We've got the solution. Patriot Printing USA. Whether you're running for office, saving souls, or just need business cards that will get you the new job you've been looking for, Patriot Printing USA has got you covered with the best prices around. Palm cards, brochures, bumper stickers, door hangers, you name it, we've got it. PatriotPrintingUSA.com. That's PatriotPrintingUSA.com.
Want an engaging website to boost your business? You're just a click away from 5-star Fiverr talent. Hundreds of freelancer skills like web design. Head to Fiverr.com today and get something started.
Average Americans are turning into conspiracy theorists at an unprecedented rate. Flip City Magazine was created for new converts to aid in their in-depth research along the path of absolute truth. We offer the hardest-hitting news and opinion delivered uncensored in print directly to your door. Display proudly on your coffee table or hide discreetly under your mattress. Flip City is the magazine they don't want you to see, much less read. Subscribe to Flip City Magazine today at flipcitymag.com.
I would remind you that extremism in the defense of liberty is no vice.
It is better to settle these matters in the courts than on the streets, and new laws are needed at every level. But law alone cannot make men see right.